Alright, guys, welcome back to the first visual cast of the podcast. It has been 4 months since I've seen your guys' lovely little faces, and for now on, the podcast is going to be visual, which I'm super excited about. It just means more that you guys get to see of my face, which it's been 4 months since I posted. I think the last thing I talked about here on the podcast was, I think, the PewDiePie situation. In recent news, everybody's been talking about the whole Logan suicide forest video, and now he's claiming to be the victim. And then he came back and was like, "This was a blessing. I'm glad it kind of happened because, well, then I wasn't able to meet the people that I did." Logan, I know you aren't trying to seem like the victim in this situation, are you? And then he claimed that supposedly he wasn't trying to say that he had a kid audience, that he doesn't have a kid demographic. We all know that's lies and bullshit. If you guys don't know what I'm referring to Logan's Good Morning America interview. It's a bunch of bullshit. I'll save you the time. It's just him basically saying, well, he's basically just trying to make himself out to be the victim. Let me save you some time. And yeah. And aside from that, look, I got a Mike and Ike over here. But guys, it's been 4 months since I filmed a podcast. And oh my god. It feels like it's been forever. I almost feel like this channel's dead. Or was it ever alive? I don't know. In other news, I've been trying to stay pretty active on my main channel. But I mainly want to use the podcast to talk about an open forum, about how I feel about stuff, what little stuff that's going on YouTube. I heard that they YouTube actually terminated a prankster for faking an acid prank, and I guess they probably reviewed his channel and they were like, no, we're not doing this. YouTube is getting rid of pranksters. You heard it here first. I've just been trying to really work on my content and trying to make it better. I think the podcast is a good form for that. I've been bringing back some of the vape stuff, some story times, been bringing back the vlog slowly to my main channel, and it's been going pretty good. I've been working on a lot of side projects. I started working on the short film again, which I'm really pumped and excited about. Hopefully you guys are excited about it, and go and check it out on my main channel. And I've just been really working really hard to try to make the best videos possible here on YouTube. And make less shit content. I would love to have somewhat of an audience. I haven't been getting as many views lately, which is making me kind of depressing. It is depressing. It's kind of like a little kick to my ego a little bit, because I want people, I put a lot of time into these videos to make them good for people, and nobody's watching. The struggles of being a small YouTuber, I know. Real tough. But aside from that, YouTube has been really great for me. It's still an outlet. I just started a new series on my channel, Weird Things I Find on the Internet. I just premiered the first episode yesterday, so go check it out on my main channel. I'll be posting the podcast at least once a week. I think I'm going to go every Friday. This podcast, I'm going to try to get up today as long as I'm able to edit it. And, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think opening and talking about stuff here on YouTube is so important, and there's so many good, small YouTube creators, and I want to talk about it here more on the podcast. Some people that I think that aren't getting the recognition that they absolutely deserve. They've just been grinding at videos and grinding and grinding and grinding. I think one really good person that's been really somebody that I watch on a regular, that is a small YouTuber, is I think a lot of like the vaping channels, they just grind, okay? They grind, because I've had a lot of my videos demonetized from YouTube about vaping, which I think is bullshit. It's informing, it's giving people information about vaping so they could come to the channel and be like, hey, I can watch an e-juice review, but I can also learn how vaping is really changing the way that people think of smoking. It's getting them off smoking, or maybe they're transitioning into vaping because they like it. Whatever you decide to vape for, I think it is really important. And I thought about making a whole separate channel, given that everybody loves the fact that I vape and stuff, that I do kind of have more an informing outlook on vaping. Not just talk about the e-juices, talk about how vaping has personally changed my life and how I feel about it, and I feel like that would be a good impact. But I also have a bunch of other freaking projects that I want to get through, so I don't even know if that's going to happen. It's just hard when you're the one that has to edit your videos, film them, this and that, and having to have time to do these certain things. There's so much stuff that I love to do on YouTube, but just can't because I don't have the time, and editing my own videos on top of, trying to edit a video for this channel and that channel. And I would love to help out more YouTube creators. It's just really hard for me to try to balance my life and not go fucking insane. But yeah, there's my little spiel. Maybe I went off a little bit off the cuff here. I don't know. But there are so many great YouTubers out there. Don't think that they're all like Jake and Logan Paul. Me, even personally, I've kind of taken a stance and a step back from YouTube a little bit and not tried to submerge myself into it and be like, YouTube's the only thing that matters. No, you gotta have to step back a little bit and be like, okay, I'll make content, but I don't want it to be my life revolved around this said content, I've made a lot of shitty videos over the years. The last few months, who are we kidding? I felt like when I was trying to work full time and make YouTube videos, it was very hard for me personally to keep up the quality of my videos, given that I was always they always felt so rushed to me. And I hate rushing out YouTube videos. I hate the idea around YouTube now that you kind of have to if you don't get a video out at this time about this topic, then it's just not going to blow up. Why does it matter what time you release the video? Why does it matter about any of those things? But there's so many people producing content, so I get it. And I understand it. I'm over here looking at my YouTube channel, and I'm like, you know what? I wish it had grown more. I'm only at 122 subscribers here on my main channel, and it sucks a little bit, but then at the same time I kind of appreciate it because I'm still in that experimental stage where I don't really know what I want to do with my content, and if I had an audience I would almost feel obligated to keep doing what they want me to do. But at the same time, I enjoy just fucking off and making videos. I don't like making rushed videos. I don't like feeling like I'm obligated to make said video. I just want to make decent content. I've done everything from doing car edits to edits outside to talking about vaping. I feel like it should be a form because YouTube is all about you, and to think that you only have to stay doing one thing on YouTube is absolutely nuts. I don't think that you should strive too far away from your content. I feel like I was at the top of my game when I started doing YouTube skits, and those are really fun. It's just to try to keep that up is so hard. I felt like halfway through 2017, I kind of lost my love for making YouTube videos, and I felt like I was just making videos that were popular because I didn't really feel inspired to make meaningful content. And I'm not saying those videos suck. If you enjoy them, then fine. I'm glad you got some sort of enjoyment out of them. But I feel like for me, you know, when I started making videos more about topical stuff, it didn't really jive with my fan base. They didn't really care for it too much. And I try to stay really positive about YouTube and about my life, and I've talked about my depression and how it's affected my life personally, how it's affected my life on YouTube, and how I make videos. I still sometimes get so anxious I don't even want to turn on the camera, and then other days I feel so comfortable in front of it. I just it's an up and down battle, and I feel like being a person that is depressed, ultimately you kind of get into this mind state of, well, everybody thinks that, you know, my videos are bad because, you know, I'm really down on myself, when really realistically I probably don't make bad content. It's just when you're depressed and you're in a mind state of, oh, you know, I could do better, or when you start comparing yourself to other YouTubers, I feel like that's when it kind of goes downhill for a lot of people. A lot of small YouTube creators, they quit because they're like, I can't do YouTube anymore because I'm not like that YouTuber. I don't have the expensive camera gear that, you know, they have, or I don't have, you know, the charisma, or I can't edit like they can, or whatever the reasons that you quit YouTube. Or maybe you're just demotivated. You realize you make good content, but you are kind of taken back by, wow, you know, I can't continue to make content here on YouTube because I'm not going to be the best YouTube creator. You know, whatever the reasons that YouTubers quit YouTube, I think a lot of it is, especially with YouTube's new guidelines, like YouTube demonetized one of my videos, actually one of my vaping videos right here, I'm looking at it, Mother's Milk by Suicide Bunny. There is no cursing in that video. I think it's just the name, and they were like, Mother's Milk, you know, that's inappropriate for advertisers. But it's bullshit, you know, it's me talking about a vaping video, and me talking about a vapor juice, and you guys are gonna go and demonetize it. That's the shit on YouTube that makes small YouTubers quit. And that's also the shit on YouTube that cuts the bottom line for big YouTubers, which brings the question is, I don't think YouTube gives a shit about their small YouTube creators. There have been so many videos that I've made that have been demonetized for the dumbest fucking reason. Like, here's another vaping video that I made. It's called Cream Filled E-Liquid Vanilla Sandwich Cookie. Literally no cursing in that video, but it got demonetized by YouTube. And when your video gets demonetized, it's not just about the money. You get less views on that video, and less people are going to see that video because YouTube deems it as not okay, which I think is bullshit, you know? YouTube is kind of like a double-edged sword. I get it from the business side, they have to do certain things, but then the bots that they have demonetize videos that are, like, not okay in any shape or form. But, like, a lot of, like, my storytime videos have never been demonetized. I think YouTube, with me, like, trialing out videos, it literally makes it impossible to make vapor videos here on YouTube anymore because YouTube is demonetizing them. Like, I have a Savage E-Liquid Cena vapor review video and it got demonetized. Why, YouTube? And, like, that's the shit that really pisses me off. Most of my vaping videos have been demonetized, which I think is absolute garbage and crap. And a lot of people ask me, why did you stop making, you know, vapor videos here on YouTube? I enjoy hearing you're informed about vaping and this and that, and I love doing that. I love talking about vaping, even off camera, on camera. I love talking about it. My audience knows that. If you have followed me for a while, you know that I love vaping. And one of the reasons why, I think my initial reason is why I stopped doing so much vaping stuff on my channel, was I was getting bored with it. And then I got like really interested in it again. And then YouTube's like, we don't deem it as okay. And literally any of my videos that involved any sort of vaping have been demonetized, just done, over with, not gonna happen. YouTube does not want vapor YouTubers for whatever reason. They just don't deem it as okay. They don't deem it as okay if you trying to make vaping a more fun thing around YouTube. They don't want it. And that's why I kind of had to stop doing it so much on my channel, because I wanted my channel to grow. I wanted to grow an influence here on YouTube. And I realized a long time ago with trialing out stuff on YouTube that I wasn't going to be able to do that with vaping, because even if I don't give two shits about the money or what I make or possibly will make on that video in the future, like I said before, when a video gets demonetized, it's going to see less viewership, which means less people are going to see it, which means less people are going to in turn see my channel. And I feel like, in a way, once you actually look at the analytics to my YouTube channel, vaping has really killed it. They've gotten the most views, but with that, it's a double-edged sword, because even that it's gotten the most views here on YouTube, or as far as my channel's concerned, YouTube does not deem it as okay. And that is the most discouraging thing in the world. And those are the things that I don't talk about in my YouTube videos on my main channel, because you guys are like, oh, I want 5-minute videos, or sometimes you guys want longer videos. And try to condense all my feelings and emotions into 5 minutes is ridiculous. I could take my whole day, film it, whatever, make a hell of a 5-minute video, but I could never talk to you guys about everything that goes on with what goes on in this little head of mine, okay? I can't. I can try to put it across on videos, try to talk to you guys about it, and I think it's really important that we have an open forum, but this is why I have the podcast, because I don't have the podcast channel monetized right now. I don't. And for that reason in particular is that YouTube does not give a shit about my channel. It doesn't give a shit about small YouTubers' channels, and like, that's just the bottom line. And it sucks to say that, because YouTube is such a great platform, but like, they wonder why they get so much shit is because YouTube literally, they are just fucking over their big YouTube creators, small creators. They are taking away people's ability to make content here on YouTube. And it's so hard not to get pissed off at it. To see that you took hours into a video and YouTube's like, well, you know what? No one's going to see it anyway. What do you care? If you guys enjoyed this podcast, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, because we're not afraid of begging for clout over here. So subscribe and turn on notifications, because God forbid YouTube actually send out notifications half the time. And I will see you guys for the next podcast. If you guys have any suggestions, leave the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next podcast. Bye!